this manna might. I'm not sure what you own, but this here is on the mark. Like a spiral from a 5-star recruit, we throwing darts, really focused. WD-40 couldn't stop the way we grinded. In the trenches, putting that work in, I relate to all my linemen. This is for the men, the boys do not belong here. Tiptoeing to the top, we doing cone drills. The hottest show in the world, you don't even gotta search. Steady putting in work, you see the sweat up on my shirt. They wasn't aware of us at first, we wasn't on their radar. Now every play that we make, they gon' say, oh, similar to a razor blade, we gon' stay sharp. The news ain't official if it's not on the mark.
What it do? What's happening? This is your boy Marc Henry back on the On Your Mark Show, powered and sponsored by Epic Sports Apparel. Every play I compete, every Wednesday right here on the Fishbowl Radio Network, the On Your Mark Show. We got a special guest today. We got Antwon Chaney from the state of Florida. He is the founder, head coach of West Express Ladies Flag Football. A little bit about Coach Chaney. He's a South Florida native who has significantly impacted the landscape of girls flag football through his organization. West Express Ladies Flag was founded in 2019 and has become a nationally recognized program in South Florida, Los Angeles, Orlando, St. Petersburg, and St. Louis. Under his leadership, the organization has been instrumental in promoting the sport and providing opportunities for young female athletes. One of Chaney's notable achievements is the establishment of the first girls travel flag football team in South Florida. We're talking about a guy and a program that has put over 40 girls from West Express who are participating at the collegiate level. If you don't know now, we've had a couple of guests. Shout out to Coach Angelica Grayson. We've had a few guests that have been prominent with girls flag football, and it's an Olympic sport that's coming up at the next Olympics, and girls are also able to translate to the collegiate level now with that. If you looked at the Pro Bowl this weekend, there was a big Pro Bowl flag game that featured girls from all over the country, some of the best girls in the country that came to play and participate in the Pro Bowl. And this is what we're talking about today. Again, Coach Antwon Chaney from West Express Ladies Flag, he's dedicated to fostering individual talent. And this organization offers year-round development programs to ensure that their athletes receive continuous training and support. Listen, this is a big, big show. I appreciate Coach Chaney giving me a little bit of his time to hop on the On Your Mark show. Coach Chaney, how you doing?
How's it going? How are you? Thank you for having me.
Man, absolutely. I appreciate you giving us a little time today. But what I want to do is let the listeners in a little bit on how you got to where you are, your playing days, and then how you got into coaching, and how did you what was the genesis of developing this prominent program, West Express?
Oh, man. So let's, first I want to give thanks to my Lord and Savior. And, there'd be no me without him. And, my mother for, being able to bring me in this world to be in this position. So to wrap it all up, I'm born and raised in Miami, Florida. Went to Miami Central Senior High School. Played a very long time. But, nevertheless, it's just been a blessing. I mean, this journey with girls. I mean, I just can't, till this day, it's still, mind-blowing for me because, man, I mean, a lot of people are asking me questions, and everyone's answer is, I don't know, I'm having fun. At this end of the day, the game of football has been dominated by the boys for so many years, and, I'm coming from the tackle background and being able to, coach in the NCAA, played as well. I mean, I never really even can imagine myself here with girls. It's been a very, very fun experience up until this point. And how West Express started was I was talking to one of my mentors 7 years ago, and I was like, what do you think? I was like, what do you think about girls, having football or playing football? What do you feel about that? I mean, and we had a conversation and we kind of had a disagreement. You know, he was like, man, girls not going to be able to go through what boys go through, which is true. And that is totally understanding how he felt. But what happened is when I was watching TV and we had, what was going on is that we was getting our first female vice president. And that was history, right? That was history. And then I'm not going to lie, I slept on it after that. After I seen that, history was being made. And after that, I woke up that next week and I literally put West Express together in maybe 1 week. And it was go time after that. And I was able to get young ladies from around the South Florida area where we do have a lot of talent here in South Florida, very talented. I mean, I really want to dedicate that group that we had. I had a phenomenal group. One of the names a lot of people know her, Destiny Martinez, who's out at Baker University, who starred on the first TV series, Liberty City, when she was younger. And a lot of people probably seen that series on Stars. It was on Stars, and more so being able to be in people's life like that, and they were girls, and they just went so hard. And I'm not gonna lie, I still thought it was a joke, but it wasn't a joke. I was having fun. So we went to our first tournament, which was in Dallas, Texas. And when we walked through we walked towards the field, and we was in the girls bracket, and it was boys and men. I was always used to men and boys playing flag football, which now they do 7-on-7.
Absolutely.
A lot as well.
Right.
So I was used to that. And we out in Dallas and we at Texas, and they say, okay, you guys are in the women's bracket over here. And it was a game going on before us. And let me remind, I'm like, okay, this is just flag football, you know. Man, I looked up, and I seen girls catching the ball over people's heads and running the ball down. I say this is real.
Right.
And ever since then, just the look on their faces and how they go so hard, it motivated me, and I felt like I could be that male presence to kind of push and be that voice for them that they need, because at the end of the day, don't get me wrong, I mean, the boys and the men, I mean, they get it all. I mean, they got the resources. And once you know how it is, it works in life. Once you're having fun with something, you want to continue to do it. So that's how that all started.
Well, I think it's a growing sport, a growing avenue for girls to compete at a high level. And not just that, but now we're talking about going to the next level. When we talked a couple of times, I mentioned Coach Angelica Grayson was one of the prominent figures in promoting the sport, still is involved with it as well. But getting girls to the next level, a lot of times, girls compete in a myriad of sports: basketball, track, softball, wrestling, volleyball. And sometimes, it doesn't translate to the next level for some. But now you have these girls with this unique athletic ability. Now they have a chance to compete at the collegiate level on the flag level. And I think that's an interesting topic, and one that we've been talking about here on Your Marc show for the last couple of years. But you guys have been at the forefront of that, over 40 girls going to the next level. Talk about that and how important that is.
Oh, man, that's everything. And it defines West Express program and organization, no matter where I have the organizations at. Just having these girls believe that they can do something and actually continue something and get a full scholarship or help with, continue their education. And not only that, their dreams, because if you want to do it, and I always tell them, nothing is given, everything is earned, so you got to keep pushing. I always tell my girls, I'm going to treat you like a football player. You're a girl, but you are a football player. But, being that figure for them moving from some of them, I get a lot of girls that never played flag a day in their life, but
Absolutely.
They're athletic.
Right.
And they want to do it. They're athletic and they want to do it. And I just tell them, all you got to do when you come to West Express is just have a dream and have a work ethic, and we'll take care of everything else. So this is our 6th year. We have put well over 50 girls in college right now. remember, I started this program 6 years ago, five and a half years ago,
Right.
and our first class from that era is finally getting. No, they're in their junior year and senior year in college.
Right.
So they're still there. So we haven't had our first 4 years college graduates yet with West Express, but it's coming. And been very fortunate to build a lot of relationships with college coaches, and they're phenomenal too. I mean, but just to see how hard they work to motivate this sport to keep pushing, that is phenomenal for me.
Absolutely, and you mentioned maybe some girls coming in with not much experience, but the athleticism, if they have some, it translates to the game. You know, I mentioned the Pro Bowl event this weekend down in Orlando, and I happened to be tuning into that game and caught a pretty good part of it, and you could see that. And a lot of these girls come from other sports, and if they have the athleticism, and you mentioned the will to want to learn the game. It's different. Now, it's a little different from 7-on-7 as far as what you can do offensively. And I thought that this particular game, you saw that. So just talk about some of the things that you're able to do in the game that gives these girls the limelight and puts them in a position to be successful.
It's just believing in them, just believing in them, man. And with flag football, when the girl come out, you can't be very judgmental, or it really doesn't matter. I don't care where they came from or what they've been through or what they can and cannot do. I just focus on them just being very coachable and have the work ethic and have the will. Some of them, it becomes difficult, but you just got to let them go through the growing pains and just keep going with the flow. And that's why we built a year-round program. And in Florida, here in South Florida, period, we're getting ready for our high school seasons, but we still open our doors from a West Express organization standpoint, 1 day a week for girls to kind of exhale and relax and take themselves out of the equation of being with their coach. And, it's a stressful environment when you make mistakes in front of your coach. You don't know if you're going to get a second chance. You got teammates there, and, you can lose your spot. Everybody knows that. But when you come to West Express, this is your sanctuary. It's your peace. It is don't get me wrong, I'm very tough on the girls, and I let them know that is why a lot of our girls move on to play in college, because it's about reps. And now a lot of high schools and a lot of people have put platforms in place because the season in Florida is so short, you can't really figure them out. They put up a sign, you have tryouts, and your first game is in 2 weeks. You can't really figure out what she can do and what she cannot do, and you got to try to get them in college, and there's probably some girls have very little film. So we built that platform for them to have an outlet, and parents love the stability of having them play year-round too. But when high school season's up, we kind of take a step back so the coaches have the girls' attention, but we leave a small window open if they want to still flourish on their skill setting.
Well, I think that's the big thing is you mentioned flourish, and you guys have been great at the mentorship part of it as well. Talk about that and how you guys, you mentioned, during the regular season, you kind of keep, the door open for them to come out and work out. But there's also a mentorship part that goes along with what you guys have been bringing to the table. Speak on that a little bit.
Oh, man, character building. Oof, character building is very important. And, with our program, I mean, we go through that a lot, because you never know where girls come from. But at the same time, where you come from really doesn't define you. But if you are in a team setting, you have to know how to maintain that, and you got to know how to channel that and not be how to have negative energy with your teammates. And we're big on that. I'm going to be honest, every girl that comes to West Express, do they all finish with us? Not at all. Because I'm big on that. I'm big on character. I'm big on the energy, not just of some people, but the energy of everybody. And we got to be one. And because the thing is, if I accept it at West Express and your character, you're not supporting your teammate, you don't want the best for her, or you're being negative in on the field, off the field, or you're saying negativity. I'm going to try to talk you through it the best way I can, but I'm not going to lie. We do have athletes that we have to remove because if I'm accepting it and you do go to college, they're not. So, and that's why, we do a good job at what we do.
Absolutely. Again, today's guest, special guest, Antwon Chaney, coach, founder of West Express Ladies Flag Football. We're talking about flag football today. Here in Texas, Coach, they have a league here in Fort Worth ISD. I think it's going on its 4th year. My daughter actually was one of the first involved with the first year here. It hadn't caught on in Texas yet, but it's something that's bubbling around the country. And it's also, we mentioned in the beginning that it's going to be a Olympic sport. How exciting has that been for you guys? And you've been one of the forefronts of guys down in that South Florida area and across the country to promote this.
Man, when I realized the Olympic platform and the direction of going that far, and that dream as a girl was this off season, it was last summer. I was fortunate to be one of the USA Football Select Bowl coaches. We were, give it up to Coach Jesse, who's the head coach at Siena Heights University, which is a flag football program out in Michigan. He was able to give me the opportunity where I met a phenomenal gentleman, CT, who is one of the leaders with USA Football, who was able to give me that chance. And I went out to Los Angeles. We went out to Los Angeles for 1 week and coaching, in that Olympic prep style and maybe, getting you prepared. I mean, it was very demanding, but it was so much fun. But everything was kind of on the line. And it was on the line, but it wasn't. And I wanted to get my best foot forward and just to see the structure and how everything was and how it was developing and how all the kids was on a platform where it was disciplined, but it was fun. I was impressed. And the team there with USA Football really, really, really impressed me. And I just want to say thank you to them again. I mean, for just welcoming me in the family of that growth. I'm blessed. So, that's major for me.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that, it's going to become a global sport now. When you get to the Olympics, it's become a trend now in the United States. And really in Florida, you guys have been at the forefront. I think Georgia, California, maybe some, states up the East Coast have really been, really crucial in pushing this. But now it's coming to where they have an opportunity to be on the big stage. And you guys as an organization and yourself have put on several events. You put on the first ever Nike Girls Flag Mega Camp in South Florida in October. Talk about that and,
Wow.
Gaining exposure for those ladies. Talk about that a little bit.
Man, you've done your research, huh?
A little bit.
Yeah,
we try to stay on the mark all the time.
Oh, man. I mean, I never really see things. One thing about me, and when I say yes to something and when I say I'm going to do something, I'm all in, and I want to be great at what I do. And it's not about me. It's just a lot of people say, you're doing this, you're doing this for these ladies, you're doing. It's not just me. I'm going to tell you what it is. It's just that I have a will to be successful to help these girls because they are breaking barriers. They breaking barriers. Like because the thing is, if they don't, here's the thing. A lot of girls are knocking, we're knocking on the doors and with girls organization. And here's the thing. I was talking to somebody the other day. I'm a guy, okay? I'm a guy. And when Jonah from U.S. Sports Camps and Nike, when they called me and they asked me would I be interested, and they've been trying to do it and do girls flag football mega camps showcase with college coaches. They've been trying to do it for a while, and it just wasn't moving at the expectations that they would love it for it to do. So I said, okay. I thought about it. I said, first of all, I always think about the girls. I was like, okay, Nike, how would this help the girls? How would this help everyone around in the flag football girls community? And I took on that lead in October, man, and we had it was a little bit over 100 girls there. And I'm going to be honest, I only had 3 weeks to put that on. It was 3 weeks to put that on. And we had about, I think, 6 college coaches that came down. and over 20 girls received scholarship offers in one day.
Wow.
So that was epic for me. That was epic.
Absolutely.
And
I
so
mean, that's
now
big.
we've actually put on three of them within last year. We just had another one here a couple weeks was coming, and we're getting ready to take our this show on the road to Atlanta. So if you're listening and you're in Atlanta and you have a daughter from the ages 8 to 18, U.S. Sports Camps, Girls Flag Football Mega Camp will be in Atlanta in April. So I'm excited to be there, and it's just me, and not only that, the people that I've came, in contact with that is making everything successful, and I'm blessed for that.
Absolutely. I mean, Atlanta's a big hub. I think they have a state championship up there in the state of Georgia each year. And then they have a big collegiate camp, if I'm not mistaken, up in the Atlanta area for girls flag football. Another showcase where they can go and get that exposure that they need. Now, how have you been at the forefront with the exposure piece and getting getting the girls seen in front of college coaches? And what's that like for you guys?
It actually has been a very smooth transition for me because my relationships are everything. Granted, I want more college coaches to come down, but I understand right now in the college platform, they only have a certain budget that they got to use when it comes to recruiting, and they can't be everywhere. And that's another reason that we've put on. We're getting ready to do a platform with my buddy, NFL veteran Corey Legit. I just want to say thank you to Corey for. We're getting ready to do something out at Chula Vista at the Olympic Center, and that's going to be big. And we said, though, how can we always looking to help. Because I talk to a lot of college coaches, and they say, Coach, I would love to come to your event. I would love to be there. I would love to do here. But guess what? It's a lot of money. And, a lot of schools are NAIA, and their budget is not as big as NCAA. And here's the thing. There's NCAA schools that are popping up, but NCAA has not sanctioned the sport yet. So these college coaches are put in a position where they got to do very big by starting programs with very little. So myself, Corey, and Marcel, which is another one of our partners, just sat at the table, three guys, put our heads together and say, you know what, this is the way we should attack this thing. How can we help all parties? And do it at one of the most beautiful venues in the country, which is the Chula Vista Olympic Athletic Training Facility, and it's going to be phenomenal. And we said, we got Georgia involved as a state. We're taking the top 25 juniors from Georgia, the top 25 seniors. We're taking Florida, the top 25 juniors and seniors. How can we put everybody in one venue to have college coaches just sit still and don't really got to go anywhere? So California is going to be involved, juniors and seniors. States, Phoenix, Arizona, period. Arizona is going to be there. So man, we got a lot going on right now. And one thing about it, so everyone else is excited, so I get excited, and when we get excited as a team, and everyone around, we just put our foot on the gas and just keep moving. I don't even really think about their girls. I think about it here helping. I'm gonna be honest. That's how we get our blessings about who we turning around and helping them. It just makes it even more a very good experience because it's girls.
Absolutely. Well, I think the sport is thriving. It's definitely taken off, and you've been at the forefront of it. But you got another big one coming up later on in the year out in San Diego. She's a Baller event. Talk about that a little bit and how excited you are about that one.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, man. It's the She's a Baller Battle of the States is gonna be something that is gonna last for a long time. I mean, something that we can leave behind for our families and generational wealth, and not only the wealth, just a history of legacy. I mean, I want to thank, like I said before, my team, Kim, one who directs a lot of things, and she's a phenomenal organizer, Corey, who had belief. I mean, we've actually, myself and Corey actually tried to put this on 2 times before, and guess what? It wasn't the time. But now, we're in a situation where it's going to go. I mean, also Marcel, all the team that we have, we're very close. We talk every day, and She's a Baller Battle of the States is kind of we're looking to bring that college football playoff system for girls flag football. I mean, because a lot it's talented, and what I've learned being in the flag industry, it's talented girls everywhere. Don't get me wrong, every state is great, but how do you find out and do something the right way and make it exciting if you don't bring states together and let them battle it out?
Right.
You got it? How do you know if they're not put in a position to come together as sisters and coaches from those different states and battle it out? How do you define the national champions? Like, how do you do that? Like, how do you – and we're not talking about separate clubs, and we're not talking about separate teams. We're talking about people from their state, 25 of them. So 25 girls, juniors and seniors. And not only that, we're having a combine before the event for little girls ages 8 to 18. And at that combine, they're going to also do 7-on-7 games and get evaluated and get tested. College coaches may find a girl in the gym, and they're coming from everywhere. So when we say Battle of the States, when you're with the combine, you're still representing your state too. So it's going to be epic. I'm excited for it, and everyone definitely want to be a part of it. And DM us if you have a daughter on She's a Baller, and we'll do what we can to make everybody enjoy this experience.
Man, it sounds like it's going to be a great event. Again, Coach Antwon Chaney from West Express Ladies Flag Football right here on Your Mark Show today. I want to kick a shout out to a few other listeners today. Shout out to Kim Francis, my guy J-Mac from the Dub. Watch the Dub tonight. I'm sure they'll have a great episode. My guy Ben Spicer, who will be with me this weekend. I'll talk about that a little bit. The next up, Dedication and Respect DR7 Road to the Crown tournament is coming up right here in the state of Texas. Man, appreciate everybody that's listening, man. Make sure you like and subscribe and share to the On Your Mark Show YouTube channel. This episode will be there later. We're here on the Fishbowl Radio Network. Now, Coach, what do you say to parents that are kind of on the fence about getting involved with girls flag football and how it's been able to help the girls that you've, helped get to the next level?
I would say this. What's going on in the world right now with girls flag football is true. And if your daughter want to do it, let her prove that girls can ball too. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I think that's a big thing, and it's giving them another avenue. When it comes to being a student athlete, we're talking about a chance to get your education as well. And I think that's something that you can sell as well, and you've been successful with it in the state of Florida. I can't see any other reason why you wouldn't get involved. It's starting to catch here in the state of Texas and around the country. It hasn't been sanctioned by the high school governing body here in the state of Texas, but there is a league here in Fort Worth, in the Fort Worth ISD that's real prominent, and they're going on their 4th year, and girls are excited about it. It's clean, great competition, and it gives them another avenue to be involved in a sport, be involved in a team, and I think that's what it's all about when you have this particular avenue for those girls to get involved with. And, down in the state of Florida, it's real prominent. And you mentioned that they're about to have the high school season coming up, and then you'll go into, the select or flag season that you guys are prominent with. But, taking it to the next level, how important is, the Olympics to flag football when it comes to these ladies having that opportunity?
Well, I can't really speak on how important it is because it's vital. It's a vital situation. Why? Because USA Football do a very good job of providing, the girls can go out to all these talent ID camps across the country. They have the digital combine where you can send in your stuff. But a lot of girls that I've met and having West Express over the years, a lot of girls have a plan A that they want to play football, but they don't even know where to start.
Right.
They don't even know where to start. So it's vital. I mean, and anybody can, if you do the correct thing and you have the correct guidance, you can be seen. You can be seen. You can get there, and just keep pushing forward, keep working, and you can do it. And if you are in Texas or wherever you are right now, phenomenal event that we're going to be having in April is with Nike. With Nike, we'll be out in Atlanta with college coaches in June. If you're looking to have your daughter have that Olympic feel and get that momentum, and just for her to be in that environment, DM us. I mean, she can definitely go to the combine to be a part of that experience. And if you have an elite athlete and you feel that she's very, very good and she's a junior, senior, sophomore that's going to be a junior, senior, just DM us and we can make sure that we definitely look at her film and get over to one of our coaches that's a part of the states and get her looked at so she can be on that select team. So however we can be a help, and because a lot of girls say we didn't have the resources. A lot of parents, mothers, single moms, they say, look, she wanted to do this, but I was busy, I had work, and she just didn't have the resources. Just DM, she's a baller. You could DM West Express Ladies Flag. No matter if you're in St. Louis, let me know. If you're in Orlando, let me know. And if you're in Florida, let me know. Currently, we have 4 or 5 organizations of unity of girls flag football movement, and we'll direct your daughter. I have amazing people, and if you're in Los Angeles, you're out in the LA area, we have a phenomenal team and phenomenal coach that will definitely get your daughter started, ages 8 to 18, and let's take it from there.
Absolutely, Coach. I mean, I think this is one of the things that's really popping off. You've been at the forefront in your state and around the country, and that's one reason we wanted to have you on is to get that message out there. And it's that time of year. It's kind of kicking off here in the spring as well in Texas. Go ahead and give out the social medias again where they can find you guys and get in touch with you.
The social media platform is She's a Baller. Okay, that's on social media. She's SHE. Okay, is IS. She is a baller. That is for our All-Star. I'm sorry, not All-Star. It's for the Battle of the State weekend that is out in Chula Vista, California. If you are looking for your daughter to just be developed, and she wants to play flag football without any experience, and you're in the California area, most likely Los Angeles area, you can go on West Express Cali. That is my Los Angeles team. If you're in St. Louis, Missouri, you can go to West Express Ladies Flag. And if you are in Orlando or anywhere else in Florida, you can go to West Express Ladies Flag. And we'll see you guys at the top.
Well, listen, Coach, I appreciate you giving us a little time today. And this won't be the last opportunity we have to speak when you get closer to I know you said you had an April event. Reach out and we'll come back on and we'll preview that event for you. We just want to get that message out there. There's an avenue for ladies, for girls to be successful at the next level. And I think that's what it means to, get to the next level. That's proper exposure, get into proper coaching to put yourself in a position to be successful. And West Express Ladies Flags football has been at the forefront down in the South Florida area and around the country. We appreciate it, man, for giving you the time. If this is time of the show where you can kick a couple shout outs to a couple people that's watching, some of the ladies on the team, maybe some of the coaches in your program. Go ahead.
First and foremost, I definitely want to thank Corey Legit for believing in the platform and believing in the vision that we had. He's like a brother from another mother for me. I just want to thank my mom for motivating me and never giving up and pushing me and challenging me to be great. not good. Definitely want to give a shout out for creating this platform to Kim Francis. She's been phenomenal. I cannot even express the words. I mean, it's full throttle of success with greatness. It's like, are you ready for this bus ride? Because you're on it and we're going to be great. Phenomenal people. And just the whole West Express family. One big shout out to my Orlando coach, Coach Jose, who this year, man, a very godly man who took the girls up underneath his wing. Never had any flag football coaching experience, maybe a little bit, but just to see him grow this year with West Express, I mean, everything that we do, everything that I have is always want to give it back to my team and the people that's around me, because without them, I'm nothing. Without good people, the energy doesn't bounce off. So, that's it for me.
Man, well, listen, we appreciate you joining us. This won't be the last occasion. We'll definitely have you back on again. Again, this is Coach Antwon Chaney from West Express Flag Football League down in the state of Florida. Man, Coach, I appreciate you giving us a little time today right here on the On Your Mark Show, powered and sponsored by Epic Sports Apparel. We'll catch up with you at another time.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Man, great stuff by Coach Chaney. Girls flag football is catching on. I mentioned the football league down here in Fort Worth in the Metroplex. It's another avenue for those girls to compete. And you've seen some girls go to college. I was privy to seeing it kind of take off here in Fort Worth or in the Metroplex, Fort Worth ISD. My daughter was actually participating in the first year that they started. I think it's going on year 4. Over at Fort Worth ISD. Great avenue for those girls to actually get a chance to play and be in something positive. But before we get out of here, today is the second National Signing Day for high school athletes in football here in the state of Texas, around the country. Just want to say congratulations to everybody that's signing. You're taking that time to get that opportunity to play at the next level. Now, there's still some kids out there that still want to sign, and get a chance to play at the next level. The biggest thing is you have to take advantage of the opportunity in front of you. It's not over for you. If you still want to get a chance to play and somebody's giving you a shot, man, take it. Do it. This is the time of year that's happening. For recruiting in general, the 2025 class pretty much is done. Now that, recruiting is starting to take place with the 26s, the 27s. Really, the 27s and 28s are really at the forefront. So those guys are the guys that are being heavily recruited now by schools because they moved on in cycles. So the 2026 guys are actually being looked at as rising seniors. So they're kind of on the clock now going into the senior years, and those rising juniors are 2027. So, guys, just take advantage of the opportunities that's ahead of you. The off season is here. You're training, you're with your high school. If you're a guy that's participating in track, baseball and things like that, not just football, but we're talking about all sports. Make sure you're getting your work in, make sure you're getting it in. But another thing I wanted to touch on before we get out of here is the big Dedication and Respect Sports DR7 tournament over at North Crowley High School this weekend. I will be there with the platform as well as the DR7 team. Big tournament down in Florida last weekend, 124 teams down at the Villages Complex. Great location, great tournament that turned out. So we'll be swinging back to the state of Texas, man. It's going to be a big turnout over at North Crowley High School. So, guys, if you hadn't signed up, as an organization, get signed up. The media team will be there. You will be getting that exposure. We will have the scouts. I'm the lead scout on the platform, as well as DR Sports with Dedication and Respect Sports and DR7. So if you hadn't signed up, man, get signed up. You still got time. It'll be a big one, man. I know that it's going to be some of the best competition around. You'll see teams probably come in from West Texas, New Mexico, South Texas. We usually get guys from Oklahoma, Louisiana, and all those type of things. It's just about getting the right exposure. I get asked these questions all the time. Hey, how do I get this? How do I get exposure? One thing that you have to do is put yourself in the correct position to get that exposure. Position yourself to be at the forefront. Now, if you're balling, you're going to get that call. You know what I mean? And that's something that you have to create yourself. You have to know how to create your buzz as an athlete, and be around the correct people that can help you get that done. And that's something that we talk about here on the On Your Mark show every week, right here from the Fishbowl Radio Network. But shout out to my guys that are signing today. Congratulations. Some other guys that'll probably sign later on this week if they don't get it on the dotted line. But just take advantage of your opportunities. If you're really, really serious about playing at the next level and you have an opportunity, you have to take it, because the longer you wait, the longer those opportunities will dry up. The scholarship money goes away, the academic money goes away, and you will get left out in the cold. And it's one of those things where you have to get in where you fit in. And that's what we try to get across here at the On Your Mark show. But big tournament coming up this week, DR7. Road to the Crown makes its stop in North Texas at North Crowley High School. Should be a great tournament. The weather, I think, is going to be great as well. But, it's one of those things where the off season for these guys, this is what you should be doing. Any early exposure that you can get, the right exposure, you want to do it. And at DR7 and what we do with the platform is to expose the unexposed. Those are the type of things we're doing. We want to make sure that when you come out to that tournament and you're playing well, that we give you the proper exposure. And that's what you're going to get when you come to a DR7 tournament. So, make sure that you're doing the right things in the off season, that you capitalize on everything that you can do to promote yourself when it comes to social media, having your Twitter page the correct way. One thing I when I go around and do these things in the off season and even in the season, in my opinion, I think, when you're starting to, you want exposure. If you start in the 6th or 7th grade, if you don't have a Twitter page, now Instagram is okay, but when it comes to recruiting, college coaches are more geared towards or pushed towards Twitter. If you go back and look, when COVID hit, college coaches couldn't get out on campuses, and they couldn't invite people on campuses, and they couldn't have contact with the players. So Twitter became the avenue where you can get that exposure, and you can send your film to coaches and DM it to them. And just, it's your resume. It's the beginning of your resume. So, it's one of those things, from a media standpoint, from a scouting standpoint, from what, I do, it's kind of hard to help you get recruited if you can't, or help you get the exposure, let's say, if you don't have that Twitter page. It's not the end-all, but it also helps to get your name out there, to build your buzz. And that's what you kind of want to do. If you're that guy and you're building yourself to be that guy, early identification when it comes to recruiting is paramount right now. And, you can see that by, some of the guys that start off a little early and build their momentum up. By the time they're juniors, they're not looking around for, exposure, or looking around for, invites, or looking around for colleges to recruit them. Now, there's some measurables and things that go into it as well. Depending on the position you play, and that's in any sport. But football is the the majority of the things that we kind of talk about and cover here on your Mark show on a weekly basis. So you want to make sure you have those things, and it's very, very important. We're talking to the parents that you're educated yourself on that. Now, it's a big thing now, and we're here to help you. You can always reach out to us and hit me up at any time. We have these conversations all the time, weekly, with parents and players on how to get exposure. If you follow the On Your Mark Show YouTube channel, we kind of give you the blueprint every week. You can find the show and plug it in and find out, and we discuss it with the guests that we have. Shout out to my guy, Coach Jay. We'll have him back on the show this week. He's been kind of on the road a little bit. Coast to Coast Athletics and Epic Sports Apparel CEO. He'll be back next week with the show. But these are the type of things that we talk about as well. We'll talk about Prospect Sports 707, which he's on the road with that now as well. So, big things popping with that, Epic Sports Apparel and everything. Who's the sponsor of the show? We want to make sure that you're informed with that, man. And this is what we do. It doesn't matter, you can hit us up anytime. This is what we do, man, and we're going to close the show out with that today. Again, you can find me on Twitter at MarkHen44 on the Mark Sports. You can also tap in with onthemarksports.com. I put a couple of the most recent featured articles up in the chat there. Man, appreciate Kim Francis for hooking us up with Antwon Chaney today. The guest, follow West Express Flag Football League down in the state of Florida, doing some big things down there to promote the game. And I did have a chance to catch up with that the game that they had at the Pro Bowl, which features some of the best young players in the country, and you could see that. One of the quarterbacks for one of the teams, she was an excellent softball player, headed to the University of Alabama, but you could see the skill set that she had competing in other sports, and she was just super athletic, had a good arm, and she had a real calmness about her. But when you play softball in other sports, that gives you that avenue, and it translates to the flag football field as well. But man, great show today. Tap in next week. We'll be right here on the Fishbowl Radio Network each week from 11 to 12, the On Your Mark show, man. We're going to take us out. Shout out to my guy, Maynard Mike, and Scott Rapp on the visuals, man. We'll talk to you next week.
Hey, this Manna Mike. I'm not sure what you own, but this here is on the mark. Like a spiral from a 5-star recruit, we throwing darts, really focused. WD-40 couldn't stop the way we grind it. In the trenches, putting that work in, I relate to all my linemen. This is for the men, the boys do not belong here. Tiptoeing to the top, we doing cone drills. The hottest show in the world, you don't even gotta search. Steady putting in work, you see the sweat up on my shirt. They wasn't aware of us at first, we wasn't on their radar. Now every play that we make, they gon' say, similar to a razor blade, we gon' stay sharp. The news ain't official if it's not on the mark.